Hey everybody, it's Dr. Mike Ogburn, but I also go by Dr. Mike or Dr. O, so you can call me either. I'm making this intro video. It was mentioned to me that I needed to do an intro video, and I can't believe I forgot to do one prior to putting any videos out so that everybody can know who I was. But hey, it's never too late to correct and accomplish things, right? A little bit about me. What makes me qualified to put out these videos? Why should people take me seriously? Well, in addition to my academic background, I'll talk about that here in a few minutes. I've been doing this type of thing for, man, it has to be 10, 15 years or so, just not in video form. I've held small groups, mentoring sessions, and taught about leadership and giving advice to family and friends, and just peers, coworkers, subordinates for years now, and more so from a psychological perspective, even before I had the credentials to do so. So it's just something that's come naturally to me. And you may say, so what? I know lots of people who have done those type of things. People are always calling me for advice, my family, my friends. What else makes you qualified? I think it's probably best if I talk about my academic background, and so you can judge for yourself. I started with an associate degree. I'm not going to tell you when that I kind of give my age some. I started with an associate degree in financial management, and I did that on my way to obtaining a bachelor's degree in business management. I was actually, yeah, I was working a double major or dual major. I started that about a year into my first bachelor's degree, but it got tough. I was able to do that for about 2 years before I just got too mentally drained. So I finished up my business bachelor's degree, and then I started working on my bachelor's degree in information technology. From there, I decided to pursue my master's degree in information technology with a focus in project management. I got into IT. I switched from finance to IT when I was in the military. One of the, I think he was a senior enlisted member. He was going to school, and he was talking to me about things I hadn't heard of before, especially where I grew up. We just didn't talk like that, and we didn't. Well, those weren't subjects that came up at all. I think he was talking about pinging and the ability where you can see messages, and if you're clever or sophisticated enough, they can a person can see your message before it gets to its recipient, manipulate the message, and then forward it on. He was also talking about ones and zeros as a computer language. Anyway, I found all of that fascinating. So after that, I I fell in love with psychology. Now, I've always liked giving advice and helping, just in general, but I wanted to take it a step further. I wanted to have some knowledge and real knowledge really behind my desire to help others. So I decided to get my master's in psychology, and that was a focus in social psychology. And once I got that particular degree, I took a semester off to pursue my PhD in psychology, and that's what you see behind me. I took a semester off to get over it was a couple of classes that were kind of taxing. One was qualitative reasoning and analysis, and then there was a quantitative reasoning and analysis class. They were taxing. I didn't know that I would have to take an advanced quantitative reasoning and analysis class in my PhD, or I probably would have. I still would have done it anyway. But anyway, I got a 97 in that course, I think, and that was pretty exciting. I actually enjoyed the advanced class. Anyway, why do I have 6 degrees? And I'm actually thinking of getting a seventh master's in education, but I'm still pondering that idea. Why do I have these degrees? I have them because I actually lacked confidence growing up. And without getting too deep into why, the root of it all, where it emanated from, just know that I lack confidence, and I lacked it for quite some time, quite some time. But it steered me down this academic journey. I I needed to know really for myself that I could achieve something that very few people in my family achieve. Very few people just growing up around me have achieved, and that wasn't something that I was sure I could do. So I started school to prove that I could do these things, but I stayed in school because I actually loved going to school. I loved learning, and just different topics really sparked my interest. So loved learning about different topics and subjects, and because I'm the type that once I start something, I have to finish it. Once a particular topic or subject caught my attention, I had to see it through. Now, I didn't know it would lead me to where can and what I'm doing right now, which is the ability to pass along useful information that I think people can benefit from. So that's why I'm doing this channel and these videos, because of where I come from, my upbringing. It was kind of rough and tough, but it's a way to show that no matter what, regardless of your past, you can be something different in your future. You can. My upbringing, it wasn't one that pushed school or academics, even if it was supported. Nobody told me to go to college, even if they expected me to, because I always did well in school, even though I honestly didn't like school. And you know, some things in life that I came across and tried to understand was tough. It was tough for me. It was like a lion teaching algebra to a baby, which is hard for me to grasp. And it was tough, and I wish I had someone around me to break things down, to say to say things in another way that I could understand, to give a different perspective on really. I made to this decision probably around 16, 15, 16, 17 years old, around that time, that I wanted to be different. I wanted to do different, be different and do different. I didn't like the idea that the majority of people live within 50 miles of where they were born. And my experiences, that's proven true. The majority of people, they do live in a certain radius of where they were born. There was nothing for me where I live, so I had to to do something different. I wanted to be different and do different. I just didn't have anyone telling me how to be different or showing me how to be different. And I wish I had someone who could pass along knowledge that they could, and they could benefit me in some way. But I had to learn things the hard way. I had to walk down a difficult path to achieve what I've achieved thus far. And that's my goal. My goal is to share what I've gained over the years, both from personal experience and academics, pass along information that I think is relevant, that needs that's relevant, that needs to be said, that needs to be heard. And my ultimate goal is to, I hope to empower and inspire and to uplift those who are like me, who grew up like me, who grew up beside me, walked a similar path, who otherwise could use useful information found in these videos. A passion of mine is to help young men, especially those who don't have responsible men or qualified men in their life. I've come across a few, and it's a tough thing to see. But again, young men and those young men who are lost mentally, who aren't certain of how to succeed, aren't certain of how to do different, to be different than their environment. Those who would, those who would otherwise be great if they had the right information. Those who would otherwise achieve greatness if only they had someone who can provide information if they had access to that information. And so, although helping young men is a passion of mine, I enjoy sharing knowledge in general about a variety of topics, IT, finance, but especially psychology. Now, I'll generally come from an psychology lens in my videos, sometimes loosely, and then other times kind of deep psychological. But I will sometimes veer off course, and my topics will vary greatly at times. I'll also break out some of my video messages in parts, part one, part two, and I'm also starting to live stream broadcasts on current and probably sometimes controversial topics. So to be sure to check out those so you can participate. Anyway, this is who Mike Ogburn is. Dr. Mike, Dr. O is just a little bit about me, and I hope the information I provide in these videos are helpful and useful and inspire, uplift, empower, most importantly. This is Dr. O signing off.